Anita here with Sparkle Ridge. We're going to take a moment today and do our chaps and pants measurement. This is a form we have available online at sparkleridge.com. You can go to our custom section, scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see our tops form and our chaps and pants form. She has it pulled up. Easiest way to do this is have two people, have one person iPad or phone or whatever device. They can actually read it to you while you take the measurements for them, and they'll plug it in for you.
Beginning with the waist and hip circumference, remember to stand with feet together and measure to the nearest ½ inch. Beginning with the belt line, measure the circumference around the exact path of where you want your belt loops and chap line to be.
So 32.5.
High hip. Measure circumference around the hip bones with feet together.
So this is the high hip. It's going to be more of a narrow point. It's where that bone. 34.5.
And the low hip. Measure the circumference with the biggest part of the buttocks with the feet together.
So this is going to be the curve around, the biggest curve around your hip in your glute. And you're at 39.
Moving on next to the leg circumferences. The upper thigh. So remember to stand with feet hip width apart and measure to the nearest ½ inch. So the upper thigh is going to be measuring their circumference of the upper thigh 1 inch below the crotch, feet hip width apart.
We are 1 inch below with a measurement of 23.5.
Perfect. Next is mid thigh. Measure the circumference midway between the crotch and the knee, feet hip width apart.
21.
And the next is the knee. Measure the circumference of the knee where it bends.
14.
Next is the mid calf. Measure the circumference of the calf around the biggest part.
15.
Next is the ankle. Measure the circumference of the smallest part of the ankle just above where it bends, or if you're wearing the pants over the boots, measure it around over the boots.
So we're going to measure hers with the pant being over her boot. Now she's got a wider set boot here, but we're going to get that measurement. If you want a more narrow cut pant, you can definitely do your ankle measurement, and we can work with that and define that as we're going through. Obviously, if you're getting chaps, you're going to be measuring with the exterior of the boot, so you're at a 13.5.
Perfect. Next is the leg length. We'll move into the inseam. So this is going to be measuring the inner length from the crotch to the floor. Standing in boots with feet hip width apart, starting with the inseam.
Easiest thing to do is hand the measuring tape off to the person you are measuring. And then get it all the way to the floor with your boots on. She's a 34.
Outseam is measure the outer leg length from where you want your top waistband to the floor.
All the way down. She is a 42.
The next is hip room. Remember to stand in your boots with your feet together, measure to the nearest ½ inch. This is from your belt line to your high hip. Measure the outer hip length from where you want your top waistband to the side hip bone.
She is 3.5.
Next is the waist to knee. Measure from the outer hip length from where you want your top waistband to the knee where it bends.
22.
The next is the crotch depth, from where you want the top of the front waistband to where you want the top of the rear waistband through the crotch.
All right. $22.
And we'll show from the side. 22. All right, and then you just press submit and you'll get a copy emailed to you as well.
Simple as that. You can run through the measurements while you're watching the video and plug them all in. Stop at sparkleridge.com today to buy your chaps.